What's up? How you guys doing? It's your girl Sheree B Chicago here with the video. About to do a reaction video for you guys. Doing it a little different. I know I've been gone for a while, and I promise for everyone that been wondering where I've been and people that I care about and care about me, I will do a video explaining the disappearing act. I think I do owe that to you guys for sure. It's important that I express that because it does matter to me, and you guys have been rocking with me for so long. It helped my growth, and I was finally being consistent because that's one of the things I had to work on, is being consistent. And I was finally being consistent. So of course, if I stop, I had to have a reason to stop being consistent, and I do. So I will give you guys a video. However, today, with the light of everything going on with Kyrie Irving and stuff like that, I know it's a lot. Kanye West is doing a lot. And I will be doing reaction videos. Live streaming. Because I know a lot of you guys know me from live streaming and jumping on other people's live streams. I will be doing that too. Just right now, we're going to do pre-recorded for a while. When I feel that, or I believe that there's a good reason to live stream, I will live stream. And I am going to drop a video about my thoughts on live streaming, why I disappeared, what do I see for the future of Sheree B Chicago's channel, and what the plans are for the future. So you guys can understand why the 8-month disappearing, and we will talk about it, okay? So today we're going to talk about, I am reacting to a reaction, basically. This is Candace Owens reacting to the situation of what happened to Kyrie Irving. If you have not checked out my video, I have a video, right, where I did a poem titled Where, and it's just 2 minutes long. Go check it out. It's literally just 2 minutes. And it's really short to the point to express how I feel. Now, we're going to talk about that just a tad in this as well, but you'll see. So I want to talk about Candace Owens and use Candace Owens as an example because black women really don't like Candace Owens. And myself, she irritates me about specific topics. The thing about Candace is when she's right, she's right. And this is one of the situations where I'm going to react to a situation where she was right. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. Yeah, we're going to get into it. Let's go ahead and watch the video. So, to start it up, this is when what is she doing? Oh, she just expressed the Hebrew, I forget the name of the documentary, but she just said, hey, he just made a post, and she is about to say what the Nets, the NBA team that he's a part of, I think it's the Nets, I don't know, but the NBA team that he is a part of, and this was their statement regarding Kyrie Irving. So here we are.
They said, quote, over the last several days, we have made repeated attempts to work with Kyrie Irving to help him understand the harm and danger of his words and actions, which began with him publicizing a film containing deeply disturbing anti-Semitic hate. We believed that taking the path of education in this challenging situation would be the right one, and thought that we had made progress with our joint commitment to eradicating hate and intolerance. We were dismayed today when given an opportunity in a media session that Kyrie refused to unequivocally say that he has no anti-Semitic beliefs nor acknowledge specific hateful material in the film. This was not the first time that he had the opportunity, but failed to clarify. Such failure to disavow anti-Semitism when given a clear opportunity to do so is deeply disturbing, is against the values of our organization, and constitutes conduct detrimental to the team. Accordingly, we are of the view that he is currently unfit to be associated with the Brooklyn Nets. We had decided that Kyrie will serve a suspension without pay until he satisfies a series of objective remedial measures that address the harmful impact of his conduct, and the suspension period served is no less than 5 games.
Now, I'm pausing it to let you guys know that, of course, I have an opinion about every point that they made in there. However, she talks about every point, so I'm going to react to the points that I think that are important that she mentioned in the video. The reason why I'm using Candace Owens, like I said, is when she's right, she's right. And I think it's important sometimes to hear from people you may not agree with, and I just believe in that as a thing for progression, because it allows you to think in ways maybe you would have not have thought of, or it may challenge you. And I do believe that challenging your ideology and seeing things that you do not agree with helps you grow. I do believe in that. So though I do not agree with everything that Candace Owens says, specifically about the Black Lives Matter, specifically, and her views on George Floyd, I will say that when she's right, again, she's right. So here she is.
Wow, that's a very strong statement from the Brooklyn Nets. They're saying that he is unfit to be associated based on the words that he shared during this press conference. He offered no words and no commentary when he shared a link to this documentary, again, freely available on Amazon for any person to watch. But apparently the words of his press conference is what has set them off, and they are realizing that he is not condemning anti-Semitism. So when I saw this post, I went...
And that's another thing. Dude, like, nobody's gonna say nothing to Jeff Bezos. It's on Amazon. He posted something with no comment, said nothing, no caption, no nothing, a link with nothing. And no one's, and if it is that offensive, shouldn't we attack the source? Because he didn't say anything, it didn't leave you to know, understand, or believe anything about what he may think or how he feels, because it's just, that's vague. Just posting a link and no caption, without a caption, that's vague. It leaves you to think anything, you know. So since you have the ability to think anything, if it is that egregious, why not say anything to Jeff? That's all I'm saying.
Wow. What did Kyrie Irving say?
There.
Obviously, he must have said something that was horrific, and which all of us should get on board and condemn. He must have said something that was so bad that the Brooklyn Nets, the NBA Association, which painted the floors with Black Lives Matter, right? And even though Black Lives Matter was leading to looting and rioting, and people were dying in these BLM loots and riots, they still stood by and said, this is totally fine because Black people have to be able to express themselves. So obviously, reading the statement, he must have really tripped into some territory of wrongness that is worthy of the suspension. Then I actually listened to Kyrie Irving in his words, and I could not believe that the Nets had the ability to say that he was unfit to associate with them based on these words. Take a listen.
Now, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to only play a part and leave it at that, because it becomes redundant, because he repeats himself, because the press is so, they just want to ask him the same question over and over again. But I'm going to play a part just so you guys can get an idea, and then we're going to fast forward.
Hindsight, are you sorry for the hurt that your post caused people?
I take my responsibility for posting that. Some things that were questionable in there, untrue. Like I said, and the first time you guys asked me when I was sitting on that stage, I don't believe everything that everybody posts. It's a documentary, so I take my responsibility.
It seems like Adam Silver wanted to hear the word "I apologize," or in your mind, you said, "I didn't mean to cause any harm." Were you apologizing, or did you not apologize?
I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm not the one that made the documentary.
What are the specific things in the documentary that you don't believe
I think some of the criticism of the Jewish faith in the community, for sure. Some points made in there that were unfortunate.
Kyrie, are you surprised that you did hurt people?
Surprised that I did hurt people?
Are you surprised that reaction and some of the things that you did hurt people?
Yeah, I think I can ask a better question. It's just, where were you when I was a kid, figuring out that 300 million of my ancestors are buried in America? Where were you guys asking those same questions when I was a kid learning about the traumatic events of my familial history and what I'm proud to come from and why I'm proud to stand here and why when I repeat myself that I'm not going to stand down, it has nothing to do with dismissing any other race or group of people. I'm just proud of my heritage and what we've been through. And the fact that this has pinned me against the Jewish community. And I'm here answering questions of whether or not I'm sorry or not on something I didn't create. And it was something I shared. And I'm telling everybody I'm taking responsibility. Then that's where I sit. So, these same questions that you guys ask, me dealing with it as being a melanated, pigmented person all around the world and dealing with racial biases against my skin color, demeaning me because of my religious beliefs, and I'm still sitting in the seat standing. So I take my full responsibility. Again, I'll repeat it, for posting something on my Instagram or Twitter that may have had some unfortunate falsehoods in it. But I also am a human being that's 30 years old, and I've been growing up in a country that's told me that I wasn't worth anything, and I came from a slave class, and I come from a people that are meant to be treated the way we get treated every day. So I'm not here to compare anyone's atrocities or tragic events that their families have dealt with generations of time. I'm just here to continue to expose things that our world continues to put in darkness. I'm a light. I'm a beacon of light. That's what I'm here to do. You guys ask me questions about basketball, I give you my expert opinion. You guys ask me about other things, I give you my opinion, and it's met with whatever you believe the perception or the deception is. You guys investigate my life every day, and you justify it by serving your own purpose, which I honor. I would like the same respect in return, figuring out just like anyone else. So please keep that same energy when we're talking about anti-other things, because just because I post a documentary doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic, and doesn't mean that I'm automatically standing with everyone that is believing in it. So it's unfortunate timing that we're in, but I'm glad that I can stand on the truth, because I'm not afraid of these mics, these cameras. I used to be, looking everyone in the eye and telling them the truth, and I'm proud of who I am. Any label that you put on me, I'm able to dismiss because I study. I know the Oxford Dictionary, you can look it up, right? Just one of the biggest mistakes I had in being a kid was not knowing European or Western language until I started looking it up and understanding the definitions and why they say, if you want to trick a black person, put it in a book. I was wondering my whole life why they said that. Now I'm 30 years old and I know reading is a superpower because it helps me understand where I'm going and where I come from. Like a tree with roots.
Kyrie.
Now I'm pausing because I'm about to fast forward. And it's because they ask him again. And it just basically, they just want him to say that I'm not anti-Semitic. And if you listen to what he said, he basically was saying, like, I'm not anti-Semitic. I can't be anti-Semitic. And she's going to break some of that down. I can't be anti-Semitic. Now, whether you agree with whether or not blacks are Jews or whatever your beliefs is, we have an answer for that. And we're going to get into that in the video as well.
With the ADL?
I was informed.
Essentially conference in its So I wanted to play that press conference in its entirety because it is important. It's important to underscore, first and foremost, the absurdity of the media, the way that they are behaving in that press conference. They're essentially approaching him, pretending that every single word of the documentary that Kyrie Irving did not make, he has to answer for. Could you imagine a world in which everything you watch, right, you are somehow now responsible for every single word within it? Notably absent, by the way, is the press going up to Jeff Bezos, who is the owner of Amazon, who runs Amazon, and saying, hey, why did you allow this documentary to be on Amazon? There's no outcry. There's no everybody delete your Amazon accounts because of this documentary. They are putting this firmly and squarely on Kyrie Irving, which is problematic in the first place. I want to also make it clear that in listening to his words, it is pointedly ridiculous that they would say that he is unfit to be associated with. There was nothing that he said, but I would say that he is unfit to be associated with because he very clearly condemns the falsities in the movie. He says, I do not think this way. He actually calls them falsehoods that are unfortunate, right? He says that that is not what I said. Do not attribute every word in this documentary to what my beliefs are. He also very clearly stipulates to them when they ask him, are you anti-Semitic? He clarifies that he's not anti-Semitic. Now, why is Kyrie Irving saying that? Why is he saying, I can't be anti-Semitic?
Yeah, that's a good point. So, because she said, asking whether or not he's anti-Semitic, he didn't, the words they want to hear him say is, I'm not anti-Semitic. He said, I can't be anti-Semitic. And we're going to get into that. Because literally, if you look at the definition, like, as Black folks, we can't be anti-Semitic, according to the definition. Check it out.
Why is he saying that a couple of breaths after he talks about the Oxford Dictionary? So here is the definition of Semitic straight from the Oxford Dictionary. It's relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. The second definition listed is...
Wait, what is that? What? Asiatic family? Who is that? Oh, who is that?
Relating to the people who speak Semitic languages, especially Hebrew and Arabic. So clearly what Kyrie Irving is saying, based on that definition, is that he believes that he is Semitic, that he hails from maybe Africa or from Asia, which is what the documentary explores. And I'm going to give you my feedback because obviously I watched the documentary after listening to this, right? His feedback is, do not make the word Semitic just about Jewish people in America. It includes a lot of other people, okay? Now, you might disagree with that. You might disagree with the Oxford Dictionary definition, but you can't be mad at him for stating the actual Oxford Dictionary definition. The last thing that I want to say here, just regarding his press conference, and I want to say this really from the heart, because there was so much pressure that was put.
Now, this is my point. If you watched my video, my 2-minute video, right? If you watched that with the poem, then you know that, hey, okay? Hey. So check this out.
Upon me to condemn Kyrie Irving, right? To condemn Kyrie Irving based on this press conference, to basically decide that his pain is irrelevant. When I watched this press conference, I felt Kyrie's pain. I felt his pain, and I will say this emotionally and not rationally, as a Black person. I don't often think about how bizarre it is that we don't know where we come from, right? We don't know. If you ask the majority of white people, they'll say, oh, my family's from Scotland. My husband's family can go back so many generations, and talk about where they're from in England. And when you talk to most people, they have this sort of cultural understanding of their history. We don't. It's a weird feeling. You do sort of feel out of place. And yes, of course, it's because of the slave trade. And I'm not throwing that on anybody. I'm not saying that it's somebody else's fault. But what Kyrie Irving says is that you can't pit atrocity against another atrocity and basically say that his pain doesn't matter, that his noble pursuit of wanting to know where he came from, even if he landed on the wrong conclusions, is something that he is valid in feeling. It's a journey that he is valid in wanting to go on and wanting to partake in. So no, I'm not going to turn my back on Kyrie Irving and pretend that he's an awful human being based on this press conference. It's wrong. There are a lot of people that feel that they're in pain from the Jewish community because they're upset that he shared this link. But also, if you're not paying attention, there are a lot of Black Americans that are telling you that they feel that they're in pain because you're telling them that they're not allowed to feel the way they feel about not understanding their roots. following the statement.
Yeah, so now I do want to, because I'm pretty sure people are probably going to think this. I just want you guys to know this. And I think I said in the beginning of the video, but let me reiterate. I wrote this poem a year ago. And in the height of what Kyrie is going through, I thought like, hey, let me just, that's all I needed to say. And that's why I'm doing a reaction video with Candace talking on it, because here's the thing that I'm realizing, I realize a lot of my content that I try to put out is so that we can reach an understanding, a pure understanding. I think that a lot of people do not try to reach your understanding with people. They don't try to have a conversation with people that they may not understand or agree with. It is okay if you do not agree that Kyrie shouldn't put that up there. It is okay for you to question him. It is not okay for you to not understand why he did it. That's where you're wrong. Because you want him to cater to your feelings instead of hearing him express his. And then ask him to do these laundry list of things to cater to your feelings. That is belittling someone because you want your feelings catered to with the understanding of why he did what he did and why he's doing what he's doing. We are in our feelings a lot, and feelings can be valid, but how you react to them is key. How you respond to those feelings, yours and someone else's, is key. And it's key to understanding. People do not like Candace Owens. I don't agree with some of what she says. Though I am willing to hear her. Because she's probably going to speak on things that I do not hear on the other side. I don't hear it. Because they're focused on one thing while she's focused on another thing. Now, if I get the opportunity to listen to the left and listen to the right, then I get to come up with my own ideas and ideology and have my own form of understanding. Because then I'm getting catered to on one end and I'm getting challenged on another. And as a person to be a functional person and human being in this world, I need to hear all sides. I don't think it really matters for me to play more, but I need to hear all sides. So, yes, Jewish people, that documentary did denounce the Holocaust. Yes. And yes, Black people, we don't know where we come from. How come we can't meet in the middle with that conversation? Yes, conservatives, there are some things that caters to the Black community, and I think we're starting to understand how the Democratic has been catering to our emotions. More people are understanding that, and we may need to challenge them more. But also, yes, don't ignore them. How can we meet in the middle? Yes, Candace is wrong in what she's been saying about BLM and things of that sort. Yes. There's some truths to the BLM movement, and that's what's been frustrating me. Not movement, but the organization is trash. The movement matters. You can't ignore the movement. It is extremely important. The movement is important. The organization is trash. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will stick their middle finger up to the organization. And it's a lot of Black folks that know that the organization is trash. But that movement, when I put that hashtag, it means something. So if we are going to try to move forward, let's understand all sides. You cannot have a healthy balance if you do not look at all sides. If you do not try to pay attention to all sides. And that's where I come from. I come from a place of trying to have understanding, at the same time doing what I have to do for my people. Period. I am very much so pro-black, and I see things and I understand things. I am not as political as I would like to be. However, I do understand that those certain things do exist. And what we need to do is understand that without understanding, we will continue to be divided. And that's really what my message is when it comes to this. I thought that was very important, because even with some of Kyrie's decisions that he's made as a man, I don't agree with. However, this point, the point that he's trying to make with this documentary, is right. So I think it's important to differentiate between the two. That is important. And to dissociate with anything that you may not agree with the other person. However, it's okay to acknowledge the things that you do agree. So that's really my point of view. I wanted to express that. She gets more into it. If you want to pay attention more to what she says, I will drop the link of this. It's really just the first 20 minutes. I didn't want this video to be super long. So I don't even know how long. Yes, I've been, oh snap, it's already been 25 minutes. Lord have mercy. So let me go ahead and get up out of here, y'all. This video is longer than I planned. I wanted it to be 15 minutes. I went 10 minutes over time. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. And yeah, I'm back, and I'm going to do more reaction videos. And I'm going to speak on more things like this or anything else that may happen in pop culture. Who knows? Or anything that I believe needs to be addressed. So that's that. Thank you all for tuning in. And I look forward to hearing and seeing you guys in the near future with more videos. I'm your girl, Sheree B. Chicago. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to your girl, okay? Thank you. And shout out to the people that have encouraged me to come back. They know who they are, okay? It's two people in particular that I'm thinking of. They know exactly who they are. So one of them is a new subscriber, so... So yeah, all right, you guys, I'm out. Peace.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
On Sheree B. Chicago.